Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name's Stephen and I'm a traditionally published fantasy author. Today I'm going to be talking to you about something I've seen very recently online, and this is literary agency scams. This is where people are pretending to be literary agents, or they set up a fake agency so that when people query them and are looking for an agent and for representation, they get into trouble. So I'm going to talk about some of the signs you should watch out for, some of the things that would concern me, and then how you can avoid it at the end and find out if your agent that you're querying is legitimate. It's always very worrying that once you've finished your novel, you're really excited about it, and the next stage is then finding an agent. And this is the biggest hurdle to getting traditionally published. But equally, if you're going the self-publishing route, you may still be looking for an agent, particularly because if you're self-publishing in the English language and you want to sell the rights internationally, then an agent can do that for you on your behalf if your book is quite successful. So it can be for both self-publishers and traditional publishing. So first things first, if you're looking for an agent and you query them, do your homework on them. Look online and see if they have social media presence. Most agents do. A lot of them will have a website as well. They're on Twitter, they take part in various activities, but not all of them do. So that isn't a first warning sign. That's just something you should first be aware of. So look for social media presence, definitely look for a website, and study their website really carefully. I'd look for any information they have on their history, where they've previously worked, if they're a separate agency and then they've set up their own, or whether a larger company and then they went somewhere else. This is a common practice. Agencies sometimes implode, sometimes they have too many and they split apart and create new agencies. Sometimes agents decide to just set off on their own and create a brand new agency. My agent used to work for one agency, then she partnered up with an old mentor of hers, and then she went on to form her own separate agency, which is now growing and bringing new people in. All of her history is there, all of it's online, all of it can be checked and verified. You could look up all of the information on all of the companies and you can see that it's legitimate. So first, check the history of the agent. Second, check their work history. And by that I mean look into their clients. All agents will list very proudly who they've worked with, who their existing clients are, the deals they've done in the past, because this is like their CV, their resume. It's showing you who they work with, what they've done in the past and how much they've achieved. And all of that information can be checked as well and verified. And if you can't find any of that sort of information, that's a very worrying sign. I would definitely be suspicious. Another way to check it is to look at the authors who are mentioned. Sometimes an author, myself included, will list who their agent is. You can find them on social media, look on their website, and sometimes if people are querying them about anything, they'll have a contact page, but equally at the bottom it'll say, for any book or publicity or so-and-so, contact my agent, and here's the details. So that's another way to verify if the history of what this person has said is true. The third thing, and probably the most obvious one, I probably should have put this up front, is whenever you're querying an agent, and I said this in my previous video about how I found an agent, I'll put a link here, it should be free. Any legitimate agent will not charge you anything to read your submission. I don't care who their clients are, I don't care what they put on about how important they are, how busy they are, or anything like that. All of that is nonsense. I don't care if they work with the top best-selling authors in the world in any genre, they will not charge you a fee to read your book, your submission, if they are legitimate. It's just, that's the first and most simple thing you've got to look for. Even if it's like $10 or £10 or whatever it says, it's just an admission fee or it's an administration fee. It's a scam. Put them, walk away, delete the email, walk away from the website and leave it alone. Another place to check for anybody that might be suspicious is a website called Writer Beware. They list and update this site quite frequently with any agencies that are quite suspicious. They sometimes go onto websites and they sort of interrogate them to find out what's legitimate or not, and they update that website too. Go and do that. That's another way to do it. Another way you can approach it is look at your favorite authors. They often list who their agents are, and from them you can then find out if they represent the kind of work that you're writing. So that's kind of a good start. So I'm a fantasy author. You can look at my agent, she's listed in my Twitter biography, and then you can look at her website. And on the website, it'll list when they're open for submissions and when they're closed, and she'll list all of her clients. So that's another way to do it. If you write crime, go and look up some crime authors on social media, find out who are their agents, see who else they represent, see if it's your kind of thing. So there's different ways of going about it. Another place to look for legitimate agents is the Writers and Artists Yearbook. This is something that's published every year. It lists all of the authors, all of the agents, all of the agencies, and all of the genres that they represent. So you can work your way through that. Use that as a starting point because that's published every year. Things have changed, may have changed within that 12-month period. Use that as a starting point, then go online, see if the agency's still there. Maybe it's split up, maybe it still exists, maybe an agent's gone off to form their own agency. But that's a really good place to start. And there again, anybody in there will be legitimate. Double check it, do your homework online, check that there aren't any scams, and you should be okay. I know it's really worrying when you produce a book, you've spent all of this time, all of this effort, all of the countless hours working on something, just to find out that the person that you're sending to could be a scam artist. And it is quite worrying. So it's worth doing a little bit of extra homework, just taking a bit of time so that you send it off to the right person and you give yourself the best chance ever of finding a good agent. But remember, they should never charge you a fee. I don't care how big or small they claim it is, administration, whatever it is. If it is, and they say they want some money for something, walk away. Money always flows from the agent to the author, never the opposite way around. I worked with my agent on my initial submission. We worked on it until it was ready. I didn't pay her throughout that entire period. Then we sent it off to the publishers. There again, I worked with the publishers and money flowed from them to me when they gave me a book deal. My agent didn't get any money from me until I got the book deal, and then she took a portion of that, which is part of the fee and the commission structure and so on. That's all part of the deal in the contract. But until that moment, we'd worked together for over a year for free, because that's how it works. She makes money when I make money, and any legitimate agent will be the same way. So that's it for today, just a quick one because I saw this come up online and I want to give you a heads up. So do your homework, check out my links, check out links for other agents and other writers who list their agents, look up the agencies, do your homework, that kind of thing. Any questions about any of this or any other subjects, drop me a line, post a comment, contact me through social media. Like and subscribe to this channel, please. That would be great, and I'll see you next time.